Hello everybody once again and welcome back to our Back 10 weekly prediction show. You may realise that we're not in our usual home. We're here at Helens Stadium. We've just had Darren Lockyer on, of course. Darren unfortunately couldn't stay with us to do his weekly predictions. He has to get off. He's got a super busy schedule considering everything that's going on there with those discussions at the London Bronco. He still made time for us, so I don't know if that are we classed as a big meeting then?
No, we'll run with that. I like that. I like it. I like that.
Anyways, yeah, look, we'll start. Where else should we start? Matt, you were pretty, you were a bit more humble about it this time. Do you want to?
Well, I would just bang on again, wasn't I?
Yeah. What was your 18-4?
18-4. Admittedly, when Saints scored after about 4 minutes, I was thinking I've got this one wrong. And then when Wakefield scored after about 45 minutes to make it 18-4, I think this isn't going to come off. But then I should have trusted myself because I'm normally right.
Well, Matt was right once again. A full 5 points collected for him. We'll get your thoughts on this week's game of the week, which will be Hull KR and Wakefield. So we'll get your comments on who you think is going to win that, the score, and the correct margin. But before we do, let's have a little recap on the St Helens Wigan game. What were they started so bright, didn't they? I just felt that after 25 minutes of dominance, they needed to be more than 4.
They did.
I know it's dead easy saying this in hindsight, but I felt that in the game. Yeah. I felt that they needed to be 10 points up in that period. Fast forward to 40 minutes, 12-4. And I thought, if I was in that changing room, it must have felt like a bit of a hammer blow.
Yeah, it would do. It would do, because that was the best 20 minutes I've seen since put up the opening quarter. I thought they were awesome. Just so good in every facet.
The pass from Wellesby was gorgeous, wasn't it?
Beautiful. And then he played well at 30. I like that dynamic.
Do you think we'll see it again?
No.
No, I don't either.
No, not because he did poor. We need to get onto that conversation again, but what they do this week. But, yeah, you're right. I think they needed to be more up anyway. When you're playing a team like Wigan who have freakish talents in the side who can just score from nothing, like the Nsemba catch is just ridiculous. And then the Field and French combo is a joke. It's not enough points to win a game. That's the problem for Saints, isn't it? They play these bigger games, they don't score enough points.
12 games now, Matt, against Wigan, Leigh, Hull KR. And it's important. It's important because, in all probability, St Helens are going to finish 5th.
They're going to play
Leigh, and then they're going to have to play Wigan. And if they were to get over Wigan, they're going to have to play OKR. So that's why it's an important stat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very important stat. And I think, Kyle, I mean, you tell me, psychologically, is it not more important for Saints than anything? Because if this record's been hanging over them for a while now. Mm-hmm. They came into this run of games in form. Mm-hmm. I think they'd won 9 out of 10. We'd all been talking about how much they improved. If they then lose to those 3 teams back to back to back, mentally, I think that has to create a scar for the players, a bit of a belief thing, a bit of some form of complex. You might tell me differently, but from where I'm looking, I think that mentally has to be quite damaging.
I think so, because it's only so many times you can repeat the same thing before you start to believe it.
Yeah.
And in order to change any sort of belief behaviour, you have to change the identity of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And at the minute, St Helens' attack is it's not there, is it? They're not known now as an attacking side. No. They can still defend, so yeah, it does become a bit of a tricky point for them. I suppose the challenge is there for them to. They've got enough players in there that have achieved so much. Can they do it again? I'm not too sure. You usually finish where you're meant to finish over the course of a season.
I tell you what, let me ask you this, and I'll give you my answer as well. You're Paul Wellens this week. You've got Morgan Knowles back. You can play everyone where you want to play them this week. You don't have to fit square pegs in round holes. What's your spine? I'll give you. I can go first if you want.
Well, I think Jack Wellesby goes back to fullback.
Yeah, because Saylor didn't play well.
I thought Moses Mbai kicked the ball pretty well.
Did you?
I thought he kicked the ball and landed it a couple of metres shy of where it needed to be. Yeah. If they were going to get into that grind, St Helens don't really have a proper kicker. That's been a big.
That's their big issue for me. Their last plays are so uninventive and uninspiring, but it's because they don't have a good kicker. The best kicker is George Whitby. The problem if you play Whitby defensively, and he's not poor defensively, just physically not that body yet.
Oh, he's probably a season 2 behind.
It's not his fault, not a criticism.
Look, we've touched on loads there about St Helens, right? And I'm sorry I didn't quite answer your question, but I don't get paid to pick the team.
This would be my team. I'd have Wellesby at 1. I'd have Lomax and Saylor in the halves. Mm-hmm. I'd have Moses Mbai playing as my 14.
Okay. Wigan.
Sorry, I got that wrong. I'd have Wellesby at 6, Sailor at 1.
Sorry.
Apologies.
Right. Well, sorry. Wigan, look, we've been very much on Saints there.
Yeah.
I didn't think Wigan were great either. Now, I think if the worrying part for St Helens, I thought, if Wigan played at their, they've been completing at 90% the last couple of weeks. If they'd have been playing, I think Matty Peter also referenced that he wasn't overly pleased.
He thought they'd play better, is what he said. Yeah,
but I think if Wigan were to play at that could have been even uglier for St Helens. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I still think Wigan win the grand final. By the way,
no, I mean, it's something I've spoken about. I think Wigan would be a travesty if it wasn't that, and I think that Wigan.
They've just got the difference with Wigan for me is they have the X factor that other teams do not have in Field, French, and in December.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Moving on. Prediction time. We'll start with Leeds Catalan here Thursday night. Leeds Catalan. Leeds in there. Yeah.
It's Leeds. Yeah.
It's Leeds. Catalan.
I don't think Jake Connor will play.
He rib injury, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was holding his shoulder, so I'd be surprised. I'm surprised with his wrist for this one with Wigan. I don't think Jake, but they'll still have enough.
Well, I was at the Salford and Catalan game. Obvious Joe Tompkins just wants to, have the clear out, get his fingerprints all over that squad for season 2026. But Leeds Rhinos, comfortable win, I think, there. Lee v St Helens. I thought this one could have been picked as our game of the week, given that what's at stake potentially. Obviously, the story is Wakefield and they now need to win, so I get why we've gone with that. But Lee and St Helens, juicy game.
St Helens will win.
St Helens will win.
I've said all along they will win one of these.
So they will break.
Games.
They will break the 12 game run record against those big teams.
I've said all along they'll win one, and I thought it would be Lee. I did think they might beat Wigan when it started, but they didn't. They didn't have Morgan Knowles. I'm backing myself and my trust in St Helens. They will win this game.
Does it really matter if they win or lose?
Going back on the psychological thing, the mental thing, I think it's a massive, massive game for St Helens.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Lee.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Lee. I think Lee have, they've got some decent players in there. I think the way Derek Beaumont will hype this game up, it's I tell you what, it's a brilliant place to go and watch a game now these days.
Yeah.
We heard from Darren Lockyer and Grant there, trying to go on about London Broncos and how to make that place an atmosphere. Well, they could learn a lot from what's going on over at Lee.
I would argue, barring here, I think Lee's the best place in Super League to watch rugby league right now.
When we're on the gantry, you can feel it bouncing. Awesome. When it's I think back to that Lee Warrington game. That was a brilliant game to be at.
Yeah.
Anyhow, sorry, I digressed. I think Lee will take St Helens in that game. Wigan Castleford, pretty straightforward, isn't it? Wigan are just.
Albeit, what about that Castleford beating Wakefield? Where did that come from?
That's been Castleford all over, isn't it?
They have got the performance in them. They just can't do it regularly, haven't they?
No. I mean. Look, Wigan, this is the time of year, Matt, isn't it, where they just slip into a different, almost beast mode, if you want to call it. And
that's it.
And
Matt Pete said, didn't he? He can smell it coming.
It's a worrying sign.
And that must send shivers through the spines of everyone else, because if Wigan hit that top form, everyone's in trouble.
Yeah. So both of us going a Wigan win there. So we've gone Leeds win. Split on Lee and Saints. Wigan win. Hull FC v Warrington Wolves. Warrington, of course, lost to Lee at the weekend there gone by. Hull FC. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Hull FC are going to lose a lot of players to disciplinary this week.
Jack Ashworth, certainly.
That was a shocker.
What's he think?
Look, I thought, and Willie Peters came out and was quite critical of the treatment Mikey Lewis got. I thought by and large it was Derby, it was Niggle, it was fine. The Ashworth one crossed the line. That was no
awful. Doubt we'll hear more about that, won't we?
Oh yeah. But I think he'll get a ban. Yusuf Aydin might. Rapana's very close to the threshold, so he might.
So go on then. What do you think?
So given that, and given Warrington on paper still have some good players, I've just got this feeling, because there's so much pressure on Hull to win as well. I I've just got this nagging feeling that Warrington are going to win the game.
Right. Well, I'm going to go with the home side. Yeah. I think I've seen enough in that Hull KR game. Obviously, with it being a derby. You're right. Obviously, we'll know more when we find out who's available. Really, that might sway my vote. But for right now, as we stand here, I'm
full of admiration for Hull FC, though. You know, they're everything they haven't been for the last couple of years. Out there, like the Saints lost that loss. They were on their own line and they just had to defend and tough it out, but they do it. And actually, they look quite comfortable defensively for large parts of that. I really...
It's a huge improvement given what we were 12 months ago, isn't it?
Whether they finish 6-4, 7-5, I think they've had a fantastic season.
Right then, we are at this stage of the season where, you know, the rounds are going to throw these games up. Huddersfield v Salford.
I'll go Huddersfield.
Yeah, I'm going to go Huddersfield as well. I think they finished with a win. Right, game of the week time again. Please let us know your comments. Remember, it is. Go on, Matt. You can rattle it off this week.
1 point for the correct team, 3 points for the correct margin, 5 points for the correct scoreline.
Which Matt.
And now you're going to get the graphic where I'm miles ahead of everyone.
Matt is well and truly miles ahead. There's still a couple of games to go, though, so you know I need to really pull my finger out here. Also, as well, as we tell you each and every week, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit your notification bell across all of our podcasts to make sure that you see and hear all the latest news from the world of Rugby League first. Right, so let's get into it. Wakefield v Hull KR. What are we thinking, Matt? What are we thinking?
This is a tough game to tip. Wakefield will be reeling off the back of that loss to Castleford because it's opened the door for Hull FC. They now have to win this game.
That was fuming, wasn't it?
They didn't have to win this game if they beat Cass. They have to win this game now. And I think that goes a long way, but Hull KR aren't going to rest players. They're not. It's very clear.
If they were going to rest players, Matt, they would do it the week after against Warrington.
Sure.
It's not Willie Peters' style, is it?
It's not their style, and I don't think he would regardless because he gets a week off anyway.
True.
The only reason he may rest players against Warrington is if there's players close to that disciplinary threshold. He won't do that this week because if they get a ban, they can serve it against Warrington.
Of course.
So, it'll be full strength KR or as strong as they can be because they've got a few out at the minute. Wakefield are a good team, but they have dipped a little bit. I know they played very well against Huddersfield, but there's been some poor performances. Saints, Wigan, Cass. They're a bit out of form. I don't think Hull KR are at the best right now, but I think where both teams are at right now, I'm going to go Hull KR. I'm going to say 14 points to 8.
I agree. I think it'll be a close game. I really do. I think Wakefield need a reaction. They need a response. They need a win. And they're back on home soil as well. And Hull KR, mathematically, haven't quite won the League Leaders' Shield, but in all probability, they will.
They have.
I'm going to go a Hull KR win. And I'm going to go 18 points to 10. I think Hull KR win 18 points to 10. Again, let us know. We'd love to hear and see how you get on. We've also got another prediction as well from our studio. Obviously, we know Darren Lockyer. He had to shoot off, and we've asked our studio for their prediction. Matt, what was it?
They went 18-14 to Wakefield.
Oh, so we're all...
So I'm going to be... They've got a Wakefield win. Now, I'm going to be rattled if they get this right, because we'll never hear the end of it. So let's hope that doesn't come to fruition.
Well, I'm due one. It will make it interesting in the last couple of rounds, for sure. Look, thanks again for tuning in. And again, look, we are at a different studio, but for obvious reasons, we had the pleasure of being joined by our amazing guest, my favourite so far, in the one and only Darren Lockyer.
And Grant as well.
Grant was top, wasn't he?
He was.
So lots of exciting things happening over at London Broncos. That's our predictions for this week. Do let us know yours again. Do not forget to hit that notification bell, like and subscribe so you don't miss anything here at All Out Rugby League. Thank you very much, Matt. And to you guys at home, bye-bye for now.
How long was that?
15 just short.
It's all right then, isn't it?
Then we had a pause.